I've been watching the reaction to this Asian gentleman's video challenging the black community to boycott Asian owned businesses. And honestly, I think a lot of people are missing the bigger picture. First, let's acknowledge something that should never get lost in this conversation. A 14-year-old boy lost his life. A family is grieving, a community is hurting, and the pain is real. And regardless of where you stand on the verdict, we should never become so consumed by the debate that we forget a young life was lost. But here's where I think we have to be careful. I've seen people take one Asian man's comments and suddenly treat him as if he speaks for every Asian person in America. Really? See, if we're going to play that game, let's play it all the way, my ninjas. Don't just boycott the Chinese restaurant, man. Shoot, let's boycott the nail salon, boycott the beauty supply store, boycott the dry cleaners. Matter of fact, boycott everything. Don't manufacture your products in Asia. Don't use Asian suppliers. Don't use Asian distributors. Oh, Asian technology? Won't you cut that off as well? As a matter of fact, don't buy products made by Asian companies, period. Don't partner with Asian-owned businesses. Go all the way. But nobody's going to do that because deep down, we all understand that one person doesn't represent an entire race of people. And that's exactly my point. The reality is that business doesn't magically appear overnight. They're built through sacrifice, risk, long hours, failures, setbacks, and perseverance, ladies and gentlemen. Every successful community has people willing to take those risks and build something. So instead of allowing the video to fuel anger, why not allow it to fuel ambition? Come on, y'all. Why not use it as motivation to become more intentional about ownership, more intentional about entrepreneurship, more intentional about creating instead of consuming? I've already talked about this in other videos because that's where real power comes from, people. And here's something else nobody seems to be talking about. What if the roles were reversed? Ooh, yeah. What if a black business owner found himself at the center of a controversial case? What if white Americans, Asian Americans, Hispanics, and everyone else suddenly decided that we're going to boycott black-owned businesses because of the actions of one black individual? Would we think that's fair? Of course not. But let's take it a step further. What if they stopped buying our hip-hop music? What if they stopped going to concerts of ours? What if they stopped supporting black entertainers? What if they stopped eating at soul food restaurants? What if they stopped supporting every business that happens to be owned by a black person because they were angry about the actions of one black person? We'd immediately recognize how ridiculous that sounds, right? Why? Because individuals should be held accountable for their actions. An entire race should not. And here's the part that many people don't want to talk about. All right, black people, listen to me real quickly. All right, black people make up roughly 13% of the population in America. That means many successful black-owned businesses, including some of yours, are not surviving solely because black people support you. They're surviving because people from all backgrounds support you. That's not weakness, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you call true success. That's what happens when your product, service, or brand becomes bigger than your race. Look, I'm already black, all right? I want people doing business with me because I provide value, because my service is excellent, because my integrity is solid, all right? Because what you bring to the marketplace, what I bring to the marketplace, my brother and sister, solves problems. That's the real empowerment, not sympathy, not guilt, not racial obligation, value. And this is where I think we've gotten ourselves in trouble as a society. Everything has become about color. Now, don't misunderstand me, all right? Because I know my black people gonna kill me when I say that. Racism is real. I've experienced it, and we understand the history black Americans have endured is real. I've already done videos about it. The discrimination is real. Yes, the pain is real, but constantly throwing fire on top of fire has never produced healing. It has never produced unity. It has never produced economic strength. Look, social media has exposed the history already, guys. The information is already out there. Most people know the story now. Most people understand the struggle now. The question isn't whether we know what happened. The question is, what are we going to build because of what happened? Because at some point, we have to stop waiting for everyone else to figure it out for us. We have to stop measuring our success by whether somebody else finally understands our pain. We have to stop allowing every controversy to pull us away from the work that still needs to be done. Look, the communities that thrive are usually the communities that take their plan and turn it into production. Their frustration into ownership, their obstacles into opportunities. And that's where the conversation should be. Not who we should boycott next, but what we should build next. Because ownership changes family, ownership changes communities, and ownership changes generations. And at the end of the day, we can use moments like this to deepen division, or we can use them as fuel to build something greater. I already know which one I'm choosing. Let's dap it up. Let me hear your comments. Tell me what you think. Peace out.